Because if China sinks, so will the world economy. Say thanks to globalization. Today, China makes up 15% of global trade, 18% of the global GDP. So what happens in China will affect the entire world, especially now, because the world is desperate for a bright spot and there isn't any. Let's focus on the main engines of the global economy. See how they're doing. First, the European Union. Bloomberg has compiled a report on the possibility of a Eurozone recession. Eurozone is a group of countries that use the euro as their currency. They face a recession. Before Russia's invasion, the probability was 20%. Immediately after the invasion, it was 30%. And now, in July, it is 45%. There's a 45% chance that Europe will slip into a recession. And two reasons for that. One is the energy crisis. Russia has shut the largest gas pipeline to the EU, the Nord Stream 1. So Europe's biggest economy, Germany, is facing shortages, which makes the new plan a bit confusing. Germany is planning to stop coal imports from Russia next month. A complete ban. They will not take Russian coal. Right now, 40% of Germany's coal comes from Russia. By August, that will drop to zero. That is the plan. And the timing is even more confusing. Germany is planning to fire up its old coal power plants. But without Russian coal, how will they run? Also, what if Nord Stream does not reopen? Chances are Germany will have to ration power then. They're already expecting energy bills to triple in 2023. The second reason is also linked to energy, that is higher inflation. The EU is expecting prices to rise 7.6% later this year. Their initial forecast was 6.1%. And this higher inflation is expected to hit growth. The EU's latest growth forecast for 2022 is 2.6%. Their first forecast was slightly higher at 2.7%. So there's no good news in Europe. What about the second engine of growth, the United States? Their inflation has topped 9.1%, the highest level in 41 years. So later this month, the Federal Reserve is expected to hike interest rates. Experts are predicting 100 basis points, which means economic activity will slow down further. On Wednesday, the Bank of America warned of a US recession. Today, another agency did the same, the Vanguard Group. Now, this is the second largest asset manager in the world. They're predicting a 25% chance of a US recession in 2022. 65% chance in the next 2 years. Now, the third engine of growth is the Asia Pacific. Let's talk probability first. Taiwan and Australia have a 20% chance of recession. China has a 20% chance. Both South Korea and Japan have a 25% chance. Sri Lanka is at 85%, not surprising at all. Put together, Asia's average is between 20 and 25%. It's definitely too high for comfort, but better than the West. In Asia, there are two big economic challenges. One is the slowdown in China. Most Asian economies depend on Chinese factories to consume their exports, whether it's iron ore or semiconductors or minerals. Because of the zero COVID lockdowns, the consumption has slowed down, Chinese consumption. The second reason is the energy crisis. Take Japan, for instance. 80% of Japan's energy is imported. The supply is imported. Since the war, Japan is paying a lot more for foreign energy. So Prime Minister Fumio Kishida is going nuclear, and quite literally. Kishida has ordered 9 nuclear reactors to be restarted by winter. The hope is to use nuclear power to offset the imports. Now, most Asian economies are facing similar problems. Prices are rising in India, in China, in Singapore, in South Korea. So every Asian economy is bracing for a slowdown. Like I said, there is no economic bright spot. This inflation has truly been globalized. The question is, what can we do to avoid sliding further? One opportunity is the G20 finance ministers meeting in Bali. It is underway right now. Finance ministers and central bank governors from the top 20 economies are in attendance. Ukrainian delegates will join virtually. Now, this is the perfect chance to reach a consensus on food security, on energy prices, on trade embargoes, all of it. It's the best chance to jointly address these concerns, these problems. And from the looks of it, they know how important this meeting is.
I'm sure you are all aware that the world is watching us closely. There are high expectations for this forum, for this meeting, especially because this is the finance minister and central bank governor, that we are hoping that we can discuss and talk more on a less political but real technical and issue which is matter for all of us.
The last meeting was in April. Back then, the Western leaders walked out because Russia was in attendance. Will this time be any different? The US has already called for a Russian boycott. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen says Russia has no place at the G20. But here's the issue. Russia is a major part of the global problem, which means they must also be part of the solution. You can't wish it away. They say recessions are part of the economic cycle. It is the organic flow of the economy. But this one is not. This recession will be a political creation by world powers who refuse to cooperate. The G20 is a shot at redemption, but knowing the egos involved, there's no guarantee of success. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.